Welcome back to the My Rowlett podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Rabelais, and today we are chatting with the winner 2022-2023 Spirit of Rowlett Award winner, Daniel Cabuya, who is the founder of Fit with Daniel. Well, first, congratulations on winning. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. No, it's an amazing award. I think this award really just, it's for my Fit with Daniel members. It's not an award on me. It's just for my members, for my community, for the little family that we have built. It's definitely been a team effort. They always say a team is only as good as its coach, but I think that the coach is only as good as its team.
Well, you're pretty good, coach. I will have to say. I'm maybe biased a little bit because we are friends, but yes. Well, yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be here to represent you, Fit with Daniel, your community, for most importantly. So I'm so excited to share your story with our listeners.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I think this is such an amazing platform to be able to spread the word about Fit with Daniel and everything we do out there.
Yeah. So let's kick it off. Who are you? Who is Daniel? Maybe not the Fit with Daniel, but who are you and how long have you lived in Rowlett? Because you've been a Rowlett resident for quite a long time. We were just talking about how you remember the library not being the library, or Village of Rowlett not being Village of Rowlett. So yeah, tell us about you.
No, I've been living here in Rowlett since 2008.
Wow.
And so, I remember when we used to have the Albertsons across the road, when we used to have the library right here.
We had an Albertsons?
We did. But no, I like to consider myself a Rowlett native. I've seen Rowlett go through so many phases, through so many changes. I've seen the community grow. I've seen the community bring in so many new faces. And for me, as someone that has lived here practically his whole life and being raised here, it's such an amazing thing to see. Just to see our little community be put on the map, and just being able to be acknowledged. When people think of going to Rowlett, now they don't say, "Oh, is that Dallas?" No, it's its own thing. It's Rowlett.
Right.
But me, I've now being 27 years old, having moved here when I was 13, 12 years old, I've seen everything come through this city. So I love my town. I love Rowlett. I love giving back to this community. It's our little community. It's our little family.
It's our little family, a growing family, but we still I feel like we're still a little small town in a way, which is so nice.
Oh, for sure.
What has been your most excited thing that you've seen change in Rowlett? What have you been most excited about recently?
Honestly, and I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but I love the construction that's going on, especially here in downtown. Like we just talked about, I remember when the library used to be here, and fun fact, I used to volunteer at the library in their summer reading program. I used to volunteer way back, I want to say in 2009, 2010, I used to volunteer at the library. But I love all the construction that's coming in. And I say it's an unpopular opinion because I know there might be some drawbacks to it, the noise, the equipment and all of that. But I think it also is a big representation on how our city is growing, how we're welcoming new faces. I think we should have open arms to all of those that are coming into our city. We're becoming a more diverse culture here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love people who love change. It's hard, but yes.
Yes.
Love that you're embracing it. So why did you start Fit with Daniel in the first place? Because what is it? Why did you start it? What's your journey been like?
So the idea of Fit with Daniel started back in 2017. And honestly, it started as a Facebook group for about 5 to 10 people. And it was just as a way of being connected with my students, letting them know when I was having class, etc. Then when the pandemic hit is when it really took off, the idea of Fit with Daniel. We went from 5 to 10 members to now having 200, 300 members on that page. And I say it took off in the pandemic because we were all closed off from society. And I had to stop doing my Zumba classes. The facility that I was teaching at completely shut down for the pandemic. And so I started teaching Zumba classes virtually online.
Oh, wow.
And we started having viewers not just from Texas, but Colorado. We had viewers from all the way in Germany, Brazil, Colombia, New York, Puerto Rico. We had viewers from all over the world. And then people started wanting a logo for Fit with Daniel. Created a logo for it. It officially became its own brand. We started then selling face masks. Then people wanted t-shirts and they wanted more. And so it started growing into its own little entity. Today, we're up to 536 global members.
Woo woo! Wow, that's huge.
We have 536 global members who still keep up with everything that we do. Anything and everything that we do, especially out here in Rowlett. All of our members from all over the world still check in, still view. They still buy all the merchandise that comes with it. I mean, it's just so crazy how a short idea just blew up into something massive. But I think more importantly, we're still true to that original message, which was staying connected with all of our members. That's how Fit with Daniel started, is being connected with our community. And that's the message that I'm trying to portray today and going forward.
Wow. So do you still do online classes?
I wish I did.
You're like, that would be a lot easier.
So I would love to do online classes. I think doing the online classes really connected me with so many different people from all over the world. There's the little lack of equipment and proper spacing and cameras and all of that good stuff. But I think that might be something we can definitely, look into for the future.
Yeah. So what made you become a Zumba instructor? I'm so curious of what that journey was like for you.
And what is Zumba, by the way?
Yeah. What is Zumba for our listeners who do not know what it is?
So Zumba, think of it as a Latin workout. You have your aerobics, you have your jazzercise, which those are fantastic programs, but Zumba takes it a step further, and it's actually based around Hispanic and Latin music, merengue, salsa, reggaeton, cumbia, anything and everything that you can think of. And it's expanded in the past couple of years to just rhythms from all over the world, whether it's Bollywood, whether it's, just from all over the world, you start hearing all these rhythms and all these songs, and it's basically full body workout. I mean, it is a full body workout. And what made me become an instructor, I was a student before ever being an instructor. My mentor, Callie Balderas, she used to teach here actually at Step Studio, here in Rowlett.
Yes.
And I was a student. And, my passion for it just really kind of kicked off as an instructor because I wanted to be able to do what she did. I wanted to be able to bring joy in people's life. I wanted to be able to give people that opportunity to be themselves, express themselves without, having to limit themselves to what they can and can't do.
Right.
And being an instructor allows you to do that. It allows you to connect with so many people. And that was one of the reasons why I became an instructor.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you do, y'all, if you've never taken a Fit with Daniel class, you bring the joy, bring the energy. And I love that you in your classes, you have so diverse music, but you even play a Panic at the Disco song.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, hoops. That is like the number.
I love that.
I feel like I hear that every time I go to class. I'm like, I just love it. It's for everyone and so I love the energy you bring to class.
And I think our playlist should reflect our audience. We can't just limit ourselves to one type of music. I think it should really reflect everybody that's coming to class. So if we have, a pop songs in there, let's do that. If we have, merengue, salsa, cumbia, whatever, let's do it too. I think everyone and anyone that comes to a Fit with Daniel Zumba class will find and take away something special from that, whether it's a new friend, whether it's drenched in sweat, whether it's just being able to listen to your favorite music. I think somebody will take something away from that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the transition from, you've had online classes. Now, what was it, summertime when you've landed back in person? Yeah. So what has that been like for you?
Oh, it's been such a journey. They say it's never the destination. It's all about the journey. And I agree 100% with that. I mean, when we started our Fit with Daniel classes, we started at the Rowlett Community Park, which is where we're still currently at. But the reason why I wanted to offer that, it's because nowadays, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people don't have a lot of resources.
Yes.
They don't have maybe the monetary resources to be spending X amount of money on a gym membership or a class. And so the transition into doing that was being able to offer something to Rowlett, something to our residents. And it's not just limited to our Rowlett residents. It's open to anyone in the Metroplex.
People drive from Frisco.
We just, we have a new member. She drives all the way from Greenville.
Wow.
Which
dedication.
That is definitely dedication. But the transition itself from online classes to in-person classes, I mean, it's almost 180 degrees because you go from being in front of a camera. It's almost like if you work from home, it's almost like you're in front of a camera to all of a sudden teaching a massive audience every week. And it's very thrilling. It fills you up with energy. And I know for me, it gives me a space to just release all that stress. I work from home.
Right.
And so for me, just being able to do that every week, it's just so nice to be able to just get out of the house for once and be able to go dance my heart out.
And I love that you do it at Community Park. Like, one, the name of the park itself, and it's a community park.
Yeah.
And you're bringing community together. Like, so talk about the community piece, because I think that's something that when I go to class and show up, that's something that really touches my heart, and something that we've talked offline before, like how passionate you are. I really feel like that's why you are the Spirit of Rowlett right now. I mean, you will always be the Spirit of Rowlett, but for you are the winner for this season, because you have had this incredible ability to bring a community together in our Rowlett community. So talk a little bit about the community piece for you, because the online piece, it's great, but like you're actually now in person bringing people together at the park. So what has that been like, just to see people in person and see maybe some transformation and some growth in your Fit with Daniel members?
Oh yeah, no, I think, something you said, it's very important, is that we're doing it at the community park because this is about the community. I'm a very strong believer in giving back to my community. Being raised here, having grown up here in Rowlett, I think it's important, especially for me, to give back to my community. And so being able to do classes in person at the community park, mind you, for only $2 a class.
Yes, we will talk about that in a moment. Yes, $2, y'all.
I think it's really helped the members of our community and those that live around our community. I don't think we should just stop at our community. I think we need to expand beyond that.
Right.
If we want to be a great city, if we want to have great representation, we can't just stop at Rowlett. We have to expand to Garland, Mesquite, Rockwall, all of these places. And I think being able to do that in person really embodies why we do it at the Rowlett Community Park. We're a community. A Fit with Daniel, it's all about community. Our slogan is fitness for all. It's not just fitness for some. It's fitness for everyone. And I think you can really tie that in with the word community itself.
Right. So what does fitness for all mean? Like, how have you embodied that mission statement? Like you mentioned, like your classes are only $2. You also provide water for everyone, snacks, juices.
Everything.
Like it's a holistic experience. You don't just show up. You really just don't show up for Zumba. You get way more than that. You might think so, but it's way deeper than that. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest reasons why we do the $2 classes, it's because we want to make our classes available for everyone. Like I just mentioned, after the pandemic and even recent gas prices and just even recent price hikes on a lot of things,
everything.
People have become, rightfully so, very conservative with their pocket. And the reason why we do the $2, mind you, none of this goes back to me. Those $2 do not go back to me.
I repeat,
nothing goes back to me. All of those $2 go to exactly what you just mentioned. It goes back to getting drinks. It goes back to getting snacks. And what we do is not only when you come to a Fit with Daniel class, first of all, your first class is always free. No matter what, your first class will always be free.
So no barrier,
exactly.
No excuse. You just got to drive yourself there.
Not only is your first class free, after that, if you choose to pay the $2, what those $2 are going for is we have a 10-gallon water jug. That goes to pay for the water for that. Those $2 also go towards, we have homemade banana bread that's being brought in by my partner.
I know. It's so good, y'all. I look forward to that banana bread afterwards.
During the winter, during the winter months right now, my partner makes homemade banana bread. And he brings 2 to 3 loaves and it's free for everyone. You don't have to pay for that. We also have hot chocolate that's being done, as well as hot tea that's being provided for everyone after class. During the summer, those $2 go towards paying for outdoor industrial fans to keep us cool.
Right.
Safety is paramount. We want to make sure everybody is staying safe. We want to make sure we're providing everybody with all of the tools that they can keep themselves safe. And so during the summer, we have the industrial fans. We also have juice blends that are provided for everyone to come and enjoy. And we still provide water as well. And so your $2 not only get you an awesome Zumba class, but you also get the opportunity to enjoy some tasty treats and some really delicious drinks.
So why do you provide snacks? Like, why is that a big part of what you do?
So I think that one of the biggest reasons why I provide snacks and why we do banana bread and we do hot chocolate and all of those good things, it's because not only are we sharing a good workout together, not only are we able to share that, but I think we can take it a step further and sort of share a meal together.
Yes.
We know each other from when we're dancing. Let's know each other just as regular people, having a normal conversation, talking with each other. Let's sit down over a piece of bread and, just some juice, and let's talk. Let's be friends. Again, if you're someone like me that sometimes can be very shy,
I do not believe this, but yes, like it's so many of those people who can seem so extroverted are really probably more introverts.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised when you say that. But anyway,
it's such a good avenue to get people to sit down, talk, relax, just be able to be open with one another. I think that's one of the biggest benefits that my family, my Fit with Daniel family, has really just gathered from that is creating new friendships. I mean, my God, it's almost unbelievable just how many groups of friends have been formed because of this. When I lived in Colorado for a good minute before I came back to Rowlett, and when I got here, I had no friends at all. I wasn't really in touch with anyone really. Now 535 friends. Now it's never about the quantity of friends, it's the quality of friends.
Right.
And the quality of the people that come to our classes, I mean, everyone is just amazing. Their energy, the quality of friendships that you create. It's just, it's crazy to see just how a Zumba class can really affect that and how really it can just make lasting friendships. So.
It always warms my heart every time. I love it. So I want to talk about and maybe just encourage other people, because when I hear Zumba, I'm a dancer by trade. Like I've grown up dancing.
Oh, I've seen you dance, so I know.
Oh gosh, yeah. So for me, that's not intimidating.
Sure.
To me, I'm like, oh yes, finally, I can be an adult. There's no adult dance classes. It's hard to access that. So one, thank you for making it accessible. But so, what are like the actual benefits of a Zumba class?
Sure.
Because, I think beyond the community and the mental health piece with the community, but you are actually working on your physical and mental health with Zumba. So can you expand on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. So Zumba is a full body workout. You're not just going to be working your arms or your legs. I mean, it's a whole body workout. It's also a cardiovascular workout. You burn so many calories per class. The important thing is to always just stay moving.
Right.
If you're like me and you work from home, you can sometimes be sitting on a desk all day long facing a computer. You're not really keeping your body active.
Right.
This way with Zumba, it makes it that you're moving up and around, dancing your heart out. I mean, it really just increases your stamina. It increases your endurance. We do all types of workout. And so really just it gives you an opportunity to just kind of work out and do it while having fun.
And you don't have to be a dancer.
Not at
Everyone's
all.
a dancer, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You don't have to be a trained dancer to just show up. Like just so have you seen that a lot of your community? Like just people maybe a little nervous?
Oh yeah.
Like I have never danced before. I don't even know what salsa, like how do you even do that? Like,
and I'll be honest, I come from teaching at gyms, at gym facilities, fitness facilities, and it's been one thing through this whole journey. It's been one thing being able to teach in a gym versus teaching in a small community park. It is way two completely different things. When you're in a community park, I feel like it's more of an intimate kind of setting.
Right.
I'm used to teaching with mirrors and a stage and all this fancy stuff, but it's so nice to take a step back from that and teach at our little pavilion. I love our pavilion out there. I mean, I say ours like we own it. Rowlett Community Park Pavilion. I love it because it made me a little bit shy at first. I was no longer on a stage. I was no longer with mirrors, with lights or anything like that. You can say it almost humbled me a little bit. And it was nice to be right there with everyone, just sharing that same space. By trait, when I first started Zumba, I was the one that if everybody was going right, I was going left. If everybody was going left, I was going right.
Yeah.
I was the first one getting lost. Plus, being also a male instructor, it's sometimes very seldom to see in Zumba overall.
Right.
Mind you, the creator of Zumba, Beto Perez, he is from Colombia. He created Zumba, which is where I was originally born.
Wow.
And so having been the only guy in several Zumba classes, it made me shy. It made me a little bit self-conscious. It made me kind of a little bit nervous of expressing myself dancing around other women.
Right, yeah.
But I think I think our classes have really just taken off with the sense of be able to be yourself, be able to express yourself. again, it's not a dance competition. We're not here to see who's the best dancer. You're not put under a microscope if you don't know the dance moves. It's really just about just come out, have fun, enjoy it. Get away from whatever stress you might have, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We all have something going on in our lives. And I think sometimes we need that escape from life, even if it's for an hour. I think we all need that mental bath.
And to de-stress. And movement is just so healthy for us.
Yes.
So
healthy.
I agree.
However
However you move. You don't have
Exactly. No, I agree.
But you create such a safe space. Like I am, I think I love that you touched on being a male instructor. I do see husbands show up.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
So bring your husband, bring your partners. Like it is literally for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we see it all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I want to, if you can, you don't have to share names or anything like that, but I would love to hear like how this has benefited the Rowlett community.
Sure.
If there's like a story, I mean, there's probably so many stories you could share, but like, how have you seen this? How have you seen people grow? Because you've only been doing in-person classes since the summertime.
Yeah,
now?
I want to say since
June?
May, I think officially May 29th, 2022.
Wow. Yeah. So not
6
long.
months, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think, in thinking about how it has given back to our community, how it's improved our community, that's a really good question, because all the time I see people that will come to class and they'll tell me, oh, I just recently moved into Rowlett. I come from out of state. I don't know anyone here. It's my first time living in Texas. I like to think that we like to show our Southern hospitality. And so I see that almost every time I'm in class. It's someone new that just recently moved into Rowlett, knows nothing about Rowlett, nothing like I know about Rowlett, knows nothing about Rowlett. And the first encounter, the first experience they have is a Fit with Daniel class. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden they're telling their friends back home, they're telling their friends here that they make through work. And I think that's a really good way that has benefited our community as a city on its own, because it's important that we spread the word about Rowlett in a positive way.
Right. Yes.
Our little town is not so little anymore. Mm-hmm. It's starting to grow, but it still keeps in touch with its original roots of community, of giving back, of being very close-knit. And that's something that we take very dear, especially at our Fit with Daniel classes.
Wonderful. Well, so, okay. I've heard your story. I want to join Zumba. Mm-hmm. Where can I find you? Like, so I know that, so if you've not been in touch, there's so many private Facebook groups in Rowlett. There's like Rowlett TX, Rowlett Texas, Rowlett Community. You can just type in Rowlett in Facebook and you find a Facebook group. But you, like you said, you have your own Facebook group. What is that Facebook group called?
Yeah. No, so we really try to make our information, our classes available to everyone. 100% transparency. So you're right. We do have a private Fit with Daniel Facebook group. If you are not on Facebook, because we have so many avenues, if you're not on Facebook, we have a Fit with Daniel Instagram page. We have a Fit with Daniel Twitter. We also now officially just started our fitwithdaniel.com website.
I know. Congrats. Website launch. I'm so happy for you.
So again, it's super easy. If you want to come to one of our classes, come out to the Rowlett Community Park. That's all you need to do. Just have a water bottle and a towel. That's all you need. You don't need any money. You don't need anything else at all. If you want to find out more information beforehand, you can always message me or fitwithdaniel.com, and you can find all of our information on there. You can see pictures, upcoming events. You can see our class schedule. You can see anything and everything there.
Wonderful. Yeah. And you usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Correct. At 7:30 p.m.
At right now, because that changes in the summer hours.
It does.
So we're in winter because it's definitely getting dark early. So 7:30 at the moment.
Yes.
If you're listening to this at a later date and time, check the Fit with Daniel website.
Exactly.
For the class times and class schedules.
Exactly. No, I agree.
Is there anything else before we wrap up our beautiful, lovely conversation? Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I think it's for me, giving back to my community is very important. I like to think that this is a good way to bring back and give back to my community. I encourage and I invite everyone to come out and join our Fit with Daniel Zumba classes. We don't know what you're going through. We don't need to know what you're going through.
Right.
If you need a mental bath, if you need a getaway for an hour, come out, have fun. Don't limit yourself to just being behind closed doors. It's never healthy to do that. Sometimes it's important to have somebody to listen to you. Sometimes it's important to have someone just be there for you. And so if I can leave anything off to your listeners is come out and join us. Come have fun. Come find out why we're the Spirit of Rowlett for Winter 2022. Why we were nominated for Best Fitness Club of Rowlett. Come find out.
Yeah.
If you come out, I promise you will not have a bad time.
You will not be scared afterwards.
No.
Like, it's not intimate. Like, once I got up there, I was like, no, all these people are it's your neighbors. It's our community. Like, it's so lovely to actually connect with one-on-one with people, especially post-pandemic. Like
I agree.
Like, we've been so cooped up.
Well, and now that you mention that, it's so funny because something that I have seen in our classes is people will come out and they won't realize it, but they're coworkers. They work in they will work in the same field. They will be working under the same company. It's like, oh my gosh, you work there? Yeah, I'm like 2 cubicles down from you. Oh my gosh, welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so crazy how we connect our community.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about this. This is my last question.
Sure.
And we've said this all throughout the podcast, but just to end with this, why do you love Rowlett so much?
Oh,
like, why did you come back? You moved to Colorado. Like, everyone's moving to Colorado. You know, why did you move back? And why are you still here and providing this service beyond, you feel called to? But why do you love Rowlett?
I love Rowlett because, like I mentioned, it's such a close-knit community. I lived in Colorado because of my job. I lived in Colorado for about 4 or 5 years. And every single day I was there, it didn't feel like home. Being here in Rowlett has really made me feel like home. And I think home is where your heart is. Home is where your friends and family are at. And while Denver and Colorado are beautiful, beautiful city and state, it's just not home for me.
Yeah.
And just thinking about just how much Rowlett has grown, it's almost like an infant. I've seen Rowlett just grow up into almost the big city it's now becoming. I mean, we've got apartments, we've got new businesses coming in, we've got more small businesses now than they were then.
Right.
And I love that. I love seeing that growth. As someone from my age group, is
shout out to the millennials.
It's just so amazing to see that.
Yeah.
In avenues like this, like the Friday at 5 video, the My Rowlett podcast.
This is not paid, by the way.
It's just, I love that. I sometimes, I'll be honest, I probably will not read a 10, 15 page document.
Right.
But if there's an easier way to find out about things, like the videos, like the podcast, oh my gosh, I'm here for it. Everybody in my class is here for it. Anyone I know is here for it. And I think the biggest thing in a community, the biggest thing in a city is being able, whether you're an elected official, whether you work for the city, regardless of your title of being in the city, it's important to talk to your community. It's important to keep in touch with your community. It's important to, find out what people are doing, find out what they're going through. You never know. That's why we have our Fit with Daniel classes, so you can come, dance your heart out, just make new friends and enjoy and have a good time.
Wow. Thank you so much again. Yes, I know. I'm like, well, he just ended the nothing else to say, honestly. Besides, thank you. And I see your heart, and I'm so happy you've well-deserved. Thank you so much for serving our community so well, for being involved, for spreading the word about what we're doing here. And that's why the My Rowlett podcast was born.
Yes.
So I'm so excited people are actually listening. Hopefully more listeners. Thank you for listening right now. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for you and all of our listeners and all the growth and momentum that Rowlett is seeing and will continue to see.
No, I want to take this time as well to thank the city for allowing me to do the outdoor classes out there. I want to thank the city as well for nominating me and selecting me as a Spirit of Rowlett for winter 2022-2023. And I want to thank anyone and everyone, especially our members, your listeners, anyone that has taken a part in this journey. It's not easy. It's never about the destination. It's always about the journey.
Mic drop. Well, thank you so much for listening to the My Rowlett podcast. And make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or check out our video version on our YouTube channel. If you would like to suggest a topic or a person for us to interview, please email us at podcast@rowlett.com. We'll see you here soon. Thank you so much.